Alexander Hamilton, leading man in the Federalist era. A scholar, a fighter for the Revolution, an American hero. In his early years, he lived as a poor orphan and then became a commander of one of America's greatest wars, and made his mark on our ambitious nation by establishing the first national treasury. In modern day, more and more people across the world recognize Hamilton for his accomplishments and heroicness, but behind this great man lived a coward. Alexander Hamilton is considered a founding father, but his flawed characteristics, such as being impulsive, a cheater, and a liar, should have had people questioning who he really was. In the early 18th century, Hamilton left his town, St. Kitts and Nevis in the Caribbean. Once getting to America, Hamilton clawed his way to the top with no money by becoming a lawyer with an upstarting American politician, Aaron Burr. He ended up catching George Washington's eye because he studied war tactics and became his right-hand man for the Revolutionary War. But in this time of his life, Hamilton was not rich and not well educated, a sore thumb in the time of the Age of Reason. For such an important job, one can see how far behind Hamilton was compared to the other founding fathers. Others were making new inventions and winning wars and battles. But Hamilton lived as a stooge to one of the most important men of the 18th century. Following the war in 1789, George Washington took the position of President of the newly founded United States. Hamilton, still lagging behind him, had followed him into the White House to discuss American politics. While there, Hamilton seemed to have met his match, Thomas Jefferson, a Francophile, a Democratic Republican, an intellectual, and a strong force to be reckoned with in the 18th century. He and Hamilton constantly bickered about compelling decisions that would have shaped our nation. After months of fighting, Hamilton's ideas of a stronger federal government were chosen by Washington, but it did take lots of low jabs of immaturity and impulsive word choices by Hamilton. In 1791, Hamilton made an idiotic decision that will affect his career, his life, and the nation. He had an affair with a married woman named Maria Reynolds. She lived in the city near Hamilton, and the affair lasted well over a year. But her husband, James Reynolds, ended up finding out about 6 months in, and he told Hamilton to start paying him if he did not want his little secret to go public. Almost 6 years later, 1796, this situation showed up again during an election year by none other than Thomas Jefferson. He started to accuse Hamilton of embezzlement, and Hamilton decided it was time to go public in order to clear his name. He published observations on certain documents telling all about how he and Maria were seeing each other, and the money he spent was just to do it. He also published the love letters they wrote to each other. By doing this, people did not see him as a thief, but as a liar and nothing but a dirty cheater to his beautiful wife, Eliza. Eliza Schuyler, who gave Hamilton nothing but love and support since they were married in 1780. A daughter of a very rich man at the time, Philip Schuyler, was worried he was marrying for money and not for love. But it turned out that he actually married her for none of those reasons by the end of it. Overall, Hamilton was a very successful man for his time period. He ended up with tons of money, but no time. No time for his wife, their kids, or to relax. Due to his besetting personality and constant desire to cover up everything he did to the public eye, a man with such values was not fit to run the country. Just because someone steps up does not mean they are right for the job. In modern day, this happens all the time. The job does not have to be fit for someone if they want it so bad and they scheme their way to the top. And Alexander Hamilton ended up becoming a prime example of that.